One person killed after a hostage situation at a Trader Joe's. What we're learning about the suspect, who police now have in custody.
The waves are crashing over my face, and every time I get my head a little bit above water, I scream, help, help.
Stories of survival, people who were able to make it out alive, speaking out from their hospital beds after a deadly tour boat accident. And bridging the gap between our community and law enforcement. The event police hope will spark conversations and new friendships. We begin tonight with an update on some breaking news we've been following. A hostage situation has come to an end after a man barricaded himself inside a Trader Joe's in Los Angeles. The suspect is now in custody and at least one person is dead. We get the latest details on how this all unfolded from ABC's Elizabeth Herr.
The dramatic hostage situation in California coming to a peaceful end.
Gunman released a number of hostages as well and continued in his remarks with us.
The suspect exiting the store, already handcuffed, along with 4 hostages.
That dialogue resulted in ultimately him handcuffing himself and coming outside and surrendering to SWAT officers approximately 3 hours after this horrific ordeal began.
Police had surrounded the Trader Joe's market in the Silver Lake neighborhood of Los Angeles earlier in the day.
Shots fired. An officer needs help. Monroe and Hyperion. Shots fired.
The incident began as a police pursuit in Hollywood.
We had a male suspect in his late teens become involved in a family dispute, which resulted in him shooting his grandmother and a female at scene. That suspect fled the location in his grandmother's vehicle, taking that female victim with him.
Officers spotted the vehicle, the suspect leading police on a chase, firing at officers before eventually crashing his car into a pole. He then fled into a nearby Trader Joe's market.
Like a mad dash, people were, that were in the front of the store started coming towards the back of the store where the exit was. So we assisted them, all the crew members helped everybody out in a safe and orderly fashion.
Some people running out of the store to safety, others using a ladder to escape out of a window, and later more people seen exiting the front door with their hands up as the SWAT team stood with their guns drawn. When it was all over, one person was confirmed dead and the suspect loaded into an ambulance. The Trader Joe's employees embracing each other, relieved. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
And back here in the valley, more winds and light rain returned to the valley today. While we didn't see any significant damage, the weather did cause some problems for areas that were hit hard earlier this week.
We have no electricity, we have no running water because we're on a well, so we haven't had a shower, and needless to say, we're a little uncomfortable.
And those high winds returned to Henderson today after it was hit pretty hard on Friday. Crews are working to clean up down power lines and trees. Dozens across the valley are still without power right now. NV Energy says people in Henderson can expect those outages to last for a while. So, of course, the big question right now, can we expect this to continue through the weekend? We want to go over to 13 First Alert meteorologist Dan Bronis for the answer. Hopefully things will dry out soon, right?
Yeah, it'd be good news, especially for the cleanup efforts in those hard-hit areas that we saw the last few days. And I think the good news is we're going to start clearing up. Outside on the radar, a little bit of rain falling across Interstate 15 right now. Very light rainfall north of the Speedway. Got a little bit of rain over the mountains near Lake Mead, but most of the valley we are dry and quiet, and we will remain that way the rest of the night. Now, temperatures sitting at 83 degrees right now, so outside things looking pretty good. It's just still very sticky. Look at the dew point still holding on to the 60s. Well, that rainfall today helped a little bit. We saw help keep us somewhat sticky outside, but hey, good news, those numbers are going to go down over the next few days, so it won't be quite as humid outside as it was today. Tomorrow, drier air expected, 10% chance of rain. That's it in the valley. We are going to dry out in all locations. Temperatures above 100, though. Today, we didn't quite hit that. Tomorrow, we will, and we got much, much hotter temperatures to talk about. That full forecast just minutes away.
All right, thanks, Dan. We'll new tonight, bridging the gap between the community and law enforcement. 13 Action News reporter Austin Carter gives us a closer look at an event that was held right here in the valley that police hope will create new relationships.
At Pioneer Park Saturday, burgers were on the grill and music was playing, all with the hopes of bringing the community out to break down barriers.
That they can go home with security, that it's going to be all right. That there's a peace inside that God can give them.
And what better way to ensure that security than by partnering up with Metro for the 4th annual Take Your City event. It's all to create a positive space for neighbors and law enforcement officers to meet.
It lets the city know that we're not just here to lock people up, but we're here to reach out. make an impact.
Dozens and dozens of families turned out for the event, including Jason Glaster, out here with his son Josiah, who says these kinds of events are necessary for improving relations.
Makes you feel safe, safe for your kids to be able to come out and play, safe for, just for the community to come together and everyone know each other.
And organizers are hoping these kinds of events will spark conversations and new friendships that will extend beyond today.
Let's have lunch, let's go eat dinner, let's go hang out with each other and build a good relationship.
Austin Carter, 13 Action News.
Also new tonight, a Henderson teenager is doing some good for the community. She gave a $1,000 donation to the Las Vegas Rescue Mission. Last month, 15-year-old Nana Sarfo held a toy drive at the Henderson Convention Center. Afterwards, she and her family headed to UMC to give toys to children in the trauma and the emergency center. During last month's toy drive, Nana also collected funds for a charity, and thanks to donors, Nana was able to give a $1,000 check to that rescue mission. Good work there. All right, well, NTSB officials are still on the scene in Missouri after a deadly tour boat accident. Investigators now confirming the 31 people on board were not wearing life jackets when the boat capsized in a lake earlier this week. Now some of the survivors are opening up about what happened. ABC's Victor Akendo has more on their stories.
Riding the ducks, a favorite pastime for tourists, but Thursday night, the trip ending in tragedy.
The waves were crashing over my face. And every time I get my head a little bit above water, I scream, help, help. They were throwing life rafts out to everybody, but I couldn't reach it. I couldn't get there in time.
At 6:30 p.m., a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for the area, including Table Rock Lake, Branson, Missouri, right in the middle of that warning zone.
Be advised, we have strong thunderstorm moving through right now. It's intense winds and some rain in Branson.
By 7 p.m., those thunderstorms turning deadly for passengers. The boat tossed around the lake by 63-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 6-foot waves before capsizing.
I was there with my husband and our 3 children, who were 9, 7, and 1.
Tia Coleman survived the accident. Her husband and children did not. She lost 9 family members.
I couldn't see anybody. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear screams. It felt like I was out there on my own.
Her 13-year-old nephew, the only other family member on that boat to survive. He's been released from the hospital, but relatives say he will have a difficult road to recovery.
He tried to save one of the kids and couldn't do it.
He said he didn't have the energy.
The NTSB and Coast Guard now leading the investigation.
We'll look at the vessel, we'll look at the operation of the vessel, we'll look at the people involved, we'll look at the environment.
Authorities say it will take several days to get the equipment in place to raise the sunken vessel. Victor Okendo, ABC News, Branson, Missouri.
New video out of Florida shining a spotlight on the state's stand your ground law after a father was shot and killed over a parking space.
Y'all got video. Y'all have everything y'all need. How is it stand your ground? How?
Surveillance cameras captured the argument that led to the deadly shooting outside a convenience store in Clearwater, Florida. Police say a woman pulled into the handicap space. Her boyfriend and son got out and went into the store. That's when another man pulled up, upset that the car was parked in the spot illegally. When the boyfriend returned to defend his girlfriend, he was shot right in the chest. Police say the gunman is protected under the Stand Your Ground law, which allows someone to protect themselves if they feel threatened. 4 years after Eric Garner died after he was choked by police in New York, the police department will move forward with disciplinary proceedings for the officer involved. Cell phone video captured officers taking Garner down back in July 2014. They put him in a chokehold as he continuously yelled out the phrase, "I can't breathe." Garner's death sparked nationwide protest. Roseanne Barr is once again speaking out after she was fired by ABC over racist comments.
Hi, this is Roseanne Barr. And I'd like to welcome you to my own studio where I'm able to speak for myself to my fellow and sister Americans without the filter of the biased media.
In a new video posted to her YouTube channel, Roseanne rips into ABC, saying it fired her because she voted for President Trump. She goes on to say she did not know the former advisor to President Obama, who she called a monkey, was black. The racist tweets led ABC to cancel the reboot of Roseanne's hit sitcom. The network has since approved a spin-off series featuring much of the cast, but without Roseanne Barr. The Mega Millions jackpot has gone up once again, so you might want to head on down to the state line to get in on the $493 million drawing. This now marks the 5th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history. It's expected to rise again before Tuesday's drawing. The winner could get a cash payout of $260 million. Who doesn't want that? Well, the Animal Foundation needs your help. After the 4th of July, they got more than 550 lost pets, and more than 80% of them have not been reclaimed. There's limited space, and they're frantically trying to make room as more animals come in. They're offering free adoptions on most pets through August 15th. Well, still to come, a warning for all video gamers, a teen targeted by a scammer while playing Fortnite, how they use the game to get key information from their victim. And millions in harm's way as severe weather continues in the Midwest, how the region is coping after it was hit by dozens of tornadoes in the last few days.
And outside, a little bit of rain across the Las Vegas Valley, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about those temperatures. You're going to have to see how high they're going to get in that 7-day forecast coming up.
Victims of the 1 October shooting are planning to hold a news conference Monday. It'll be held in Newport Beach, California. They'll discuss the lawsuit that was recently filed by MGM against victims of the shooting and their families. The family of a Las Vegas mother who was killed in the 1 October shooting wants to help children of other victims. Nessa Tonks' family is setting up a college scholarship for those children to honor her memory. Nessa's mother says she selflessly mentored and helped others. There are 51 children they say can really benefit from this scholarship. And if you want to donate, there is a GoFundMe page set up. We have the link to that on our website at ktnv.com. Police in Houston are still searching for a shooter after a doctor was killed outside of a hospital. Tonight, we're getting our first look at the victim. According to police, the cardiologist was shot and killed while riding his bike to work Friday. Police still have not identified a motive. The doctor had practiced for almost 4 decades and once treated former President George H.W. Bush. The hospital released a statement saying that he will be missed. The former MMA fighter who was sentenced to life in prison here in Nevada for assaulting his then-girlfriend has found love again. TMZ reports War Machine is now engaged to his pen pal, 30-year-old Ashley Farrington. They can have a wedding ceremony at the Eli State Prison, but they're only allowed to hug. That's because Nevada does not allow conjugal visits. War Machine has a chance at parole in 35 years. An Ohio teenager says he was targeted by a scammer while playing the popular video game Fortnite. Players are able to chat with others from around the world. Another gamer built up 13-year-old Jake's trust and then persuaded him to hand over his name and his password so the gamer could give him more skins.
And when he logged into his account, he took everything over. The guy took over his account, but also took over his email account and changed the passwords, changed the recovery password and the phone number.
The hacker got all the personal information, including his mother's credit card number that was attached to the game. They filed a complaint about the incident with the game's developer. Gaming websites recommend players never share their personal information and to use throwaway credit cards that aren't linked to a bank account. High winds toppled trees here in the valley, but people living in the Midwest are dealing with even worse conditions. Since Wednesday, about 36 tornadoes have slammed into 6 states. ABC's Rob Marciano has a look at some of the damage and more on who's directly in the storm's path.
Tonight, Mother Nature flexing her muscle from coast to coast, putting nearly 40 million people in harm's way. Storms rattling the southeast, knocking down power lines in Atlanta. This one setting the hillside ablaze. Over 45,000 people at one point without power. 300 reports of severe weather in the last 24 hours, including 2 tornadoes in Indiana. This twister near Indianapolis obliterating a barn in mere seconds.
What you see behind me is damage from a storm.
In Madison County, an EF1 packing 100-mile-per-hour winds, tossing this mobile home like a toy. Wheels that were once planted on the ground, flying in the air. As many as 35 reported tornadoes in 6 states since Wednesday. 1, 2, 3. Iowa residents still recovering from 3 destructive tornadoes there. An EF3 with 144-mile-per-hour winds devastating Marshalltown, transforming much of Main Street into a wasteland. Aerials revealing destruction as far as the eye can see.
Well, our weather, nothing like that today. Yeah, we had the dust and the stronger winds around. That's it. Gusts at the airport today in the 30s, so nothing incredibly strong. We had some gusts in Henderson, Boulder City, a little stronger than that, but the dust lasted a couple hours. Visibility was down pretty low for a little bit this late morning into the afternoon. Well, now things are much better. A little bit of rain out there still, but nothing that's going to cause any concerns as we go through your night. Now, as we go through your night, we're going to start drying out. Clear skies expected by tomorrow morning into the afternoon. What have we seen in the last few days? Well, a lot of green over the mountains. Well, tomorrow, very little green over the mountains. I think it's going to be a slight chance of picking up some rainfall over the higher elevations and a slighter chance of us picking up rainfall in Las Vegas. So the monsoon is going to take a little break. We're going to keep that 10% chance of rain around for Las Vegas tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, but that's it. Hey, at least we avoided 100 today. The high was 98. That was right before that dust moved in at 11 o'clock. So 40 days, like we were yesterday, $4,000 donated to Make-A-Wish from Raising Cane's. Right now, temperatures, not too bad. 83 degrees, Las Vegas. I had to drop the low temperature for tonight because of these cooler temperatures already. So, you know, shave a few degrees off of that. That will be your low. 80 degrees in Anthem right now. No winds. I know the winds were stronger for a lot of us. Well, now much calmer. Indian Springs, the only one with winds above 12 miles an hour. Above 10, they're at 12. Looking outside and right down the strip, things looking very nice. Busy night Saturday. Look at all the cars on the strip. Let's recap the monsoon so far this year compared to other years. And you can see the past 10 years of the monsoon averages just over an inch of rain. 2002, what a year that was. But you know what? We're actually not doing too bad. 7,800 so far. That's a little above average for the monsoon up to date, and that's just below the average of 1 inch, and we still got 2 months to add to that rainfall. I think we're going to have an above average year, or at least I hope we will. Take a look at your muggy scale. You know, still a little humid out there Sunday, Monday, but still comfortable. Just a little damp. Not going to be terrible. Things looking a little bit drier Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's good news because the heat is on starting Tuesday as well. As I mentioned, drop those overnight lows tonight. 80 degrees for Las Vegas is what we're shooting for. Would be cooler just for keeping that moisture around tonight, so we're not going to see those temperatures drop a whole lot. But hey, mid-70s in some places, not too bad for this time of year. 106 tomorrow, Las Vegas. Yeah, without the storms, we're going to warm right back up. So a little bit humid still, keep that in mind. So a little bit more uncomfortable tomorrow than what we had today. Pollen levels not changing. They're going to stay low over the next several afternoons. There you go. The heat's on, as I mentioned. Look at the 110 pluses in that 7-day forecast. Yeah, you know, the hottest week in Las Vegas on average is here, and you could tell 113 on Tuesday, 114 on Wednesday. Sounds like a record. It's not. The record is 115, so we're going to be awfully close. The overnight lows, near 90. So we're not going to get a break. Excessive heat warnings kick in Tuesday. They last through Thursday as of right now, so just keep that in mind. We do cool off slightly by next weekend, but every day is dry. I think a 10% chance of rain lasts through Tuesday, and then nothing Wednesday on. Tom.
Hey, at least it's dry. Thanks, Dan. Well, Chick-fil-A for life. That's the perk offered to one lucky little girl after her mother gave birth inside the fast food chain. What else the restaurant is promising to give her. And don't forget to download KTNV Mobile. It's in the App Store and in Google Play. It's free and it lets you watch 13 Action News video anywhere you have mobile service. We'll be right back. Well, check this out. Getting over your fear of snakes might be as easy as going in for a massage. A place in New York is offering snake massages. Look at that. The masseuse guides 3 snakes onto the customer. The reptiles wrap around the person's feet, their head, and even rest on some people's necks. While some are intrigued, others are wondering how safe this is.
So, you know, there are no guarantees with a wild animal. You are the one that's going to choose whether it's safe for you or not. So no one has ever been hurt by any of my boa constrictors.
People typically choose this type of massage for healing, empowerment, or to get over their fear of snakes. I say hard pass. Well, if you're a fan of LaCroix, go ahead and drink as much as you want. New research shows the sparkling water is just as hydrating as still water. The study found carbonation has almost no impact on how hydrating water is. Researchers found carbonated water might move through the body slightly faster, but that's about it. Researchers also say drinking carbonated water might make you drink less because those bubbles can make you feel full. Well, now to a story that many people have been talking about online. A baby who was born inside a Chick-fil-A will receive food for life and a guaranteed job when she turns 14. Courtney Friedman shows us how her parents ended up there in the first place.
3-day-old Gracelyn Griffin is one lucky little nugget. Her parents bought her this Chick-fil-A outfit 3 months ago, never knowing how appropriate it would be.
This really happened. How is this my life right now?
Tuesday night, Fallon Griffin began intense contractions, so she and her hubby Robert headed to University Hospital. On the way, dropping off their 2 older daughters with a family friend. They met in the parking lot of the Chick-fil-A on 281 in Evans. The store was closed, but Fallon begged the staff to use the bathroom.
I didn't know I was going to have a baby in there. I was going to the restroom.
By the time she made it to the bathroom, baby Gracelyn was ready to make a grand entrance.
I'm about to dial 911. I opened the door, and then she's just screaming.
Manager Brenda Enriquez yelled for Robert, and that's when Dad became doctor.
We're going to do something great, but we're going to do it right here, and we're going to do it right now.
And I just had I had no hesitation.
Shocking, since both mom and baby were extremely high risk during the entire pregnancy.
I stopped her at her shoulders because I saw what looked to be like a white collar around her neck. And it was the cord had been wrapped around her neck twice.
He managed to get it off, saving his daughter's life.
I delivered her at 10:30.
So strange to me to hear, sorry. My husband delivered my baby.
And then maybe a little bit less than 10 minutes, the EMS and EMT were here.
Mom and baby now healthy at the hospital.
Amazing story there. Well, still ahead.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
That lovely lady and the man named Brady. For the first time in 4 decades, the Brady house is going on sale. Well, we know the East Coast and the Midwest are being slammed by severe weather, but check out this video from Arizona. This is known as a fire-nado. It formed near the Colorado River earlier this week. A couple shot the video near the California-Arizona border. You can see the fire along the banks as a water spout spins above the river. Pretty cool video. Well, it sounded like a bad joke or an urban legend, but a man in Virginia Beach found a live snake in his toilet.
Look down before you sit down.
Good advice there. James Hooper says he was just standing in his hallway when he saw it. Hooper and his wife called in their roommate Kenny, who grabbed a fishing line.
I just turned around and looked at the toilet, and I couldn't believe it. I thought somebody was pranking me.
I tie a little noose, got the line around its head, and I started tightening it up, and I said, I think I got it.
It got bigger and bigger as it came out.
They put the snake in a bucket and called animal control. Well, it turns out the ball python was actually a neighbor's pet that had gotten out. Its owner saw a post on Facebook and recognized their pet snake. He's now headed home to a more secure cage. Well, getting evicted is never pleasant, but one apartment complex in Tennessee is going viral over the notice it posts on its residents' doors. A smiling emoji takes up most of this orange notice, but the punchline to the joke is no laughing matter. It says, "Guess who's moving?" and follows up with "you." Some residents living in the complex say the note is antagonizing, while many online find it funny.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Well, if you know that lovely lady and the man named Brady, then you should know this house as well. The Brady Bunch house is up for sale for the first time in 45 years. The price back then, $61,000. The asking price today, more than $1.85 million. The exterior of the 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Studio City, California was used in the opening and closing shots of the show. Everything else was actually filmed on a studio lot. Even though it's been updated, it still has a very 70s vibe. According to the listing agent, the home is the second most photographed home in the country, second only to the White House. And former NSYNC member Lance Bass is reportedly interested in making that purchase. Well, right now, here's a live look out at the valley. You're watching 13 Action News, where we bring you breaking news fast and first. We'll be right back.
Nice throw.
Well, this viral video will be sure to make your night. That's 2-year-old Landon. He's been playing this game of catch with his neighbor's dog Dozer for about a year now. His father posted video of their game, and of course, it quickly went viral. Landon's parents say they were even caught off guard at first about it.
We didn't know the dog was going to poke up again and keep throwing it back.
It's great that people have found, some happiness and in the joy that he had that day.
And of course, that video has been viewed by more than 12 million people in just 3 days. Super cute video there. Total good boy. That 13 Action News live at 11. We're always on at ktnv.com, our mobile app, and our Roku channel. From all of us here at Channel 13, have a good night, and thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.